Okay, what's up? What's up? Solutions for sellers. What is going on, everybody? It is Saturday. I typically don't go live on Saturday. However, there are things. There are things happening. There are changes afoot. And so this is a great time to have a conversation of said changes. So if you guys are watching, hashtag live in the comment section below, or if you end up catching this on the replay, that is awesome. Just give you guys a few minutes to hop on since Facebook now has this crazy delay in the very beginning. It used to only take maybe a couple minutes for people to hop on, but now Facebook is delaying these even more and more. But welcome on. If you guys can see me and hear me, make sure to comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We're going to have a good conversation today about Facebook changes with third-party apps. I was going to go live tonight. However, we're actually doing something with the family tonight. And so I kind of did not plan that very well. I'm like, whoops, let's not do that. So we're live right now. So for those of y'all that can't make it, this is going to be on the replay as well. Very big updates as far as what is going on with Facebook groups. And if you're a direct seller, then this is going to be eye-opening. If you have not heard the news, apparently this information came out on the 5th of February. Was it the 5th of February? It was earlier this month. Or no, actually, it was the end of January. Let me see. What does Meta say? It was January 23rd of 2024. So this is brand new information. Hey, Jody, what's going on, Jenny? Welcome, welcome. By the way, if you guys have direct selling amigos, friends, make sure to tag them, invite them into the group if they could use this information, because obviously this is a big news for the direct selling community and really anybody that utilizes a Facebook group. And for those of you that use third-party apps. So we're going to spell out some definitions here on the live today, and hopefully you guys will find this helpful. What's up, Miss Rockstar Rochelle? Hello, Penny. Thank you for tagging. What's going on? April, welcome in, everybody. Okay, so first things first, there's a lot of speculation as to what it is that's going on with Facebook groups, and some of the information that's just being rattled out there is just inaccurate. So I want to make sure that we are referencing the right sources, okay? So I did link the top of this video. Hopefully you guys can see that link that's directly from Meta. So please just reference that. You know, if you even want to read that before even watching this, feel free, or after, whatever you prefer. But I want to make sure that we're very clear on a few things, because this is obviously a big change for direct sellers. But this also is a wake-up call for direct sellers as well, okay? There are some disadvantages into this. I'm not going to sugarcoat any of it. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. This is going to be a big change for a lot of you guys. Comment below if you run a business inside of a Facebook group. And if you do run a business inside of a Facebook group, do you utilize a third-party app? Because if you do, then you're going to be affected by this. I'm going to be affected by this. Lots of people are going to be affected by this. So if you don't know what that means, because I know even on the post that I made earlier today, there's almost 200 comments on there, and some people didn't know certain definitions of things. A third-party app, okay, because there were some questions on like what qualifies as a third-party app. So when you're inside of a Facebook group, anytime that you are going into your settings and connecting a third-party app, an application that doesn't necessarily belong to Facebook, maybe it's a program like StreamYard or Zoom or CinchShare, Post My Party, Vizzle. I'm trying to think of relevant apps that I know you guys use. So anything like that, those are classified as third-party apps. And so here is the change that Facebook is making, okay? Here's the change that Facebook is making. Facebook groups, they're not necessarily going away, but let me define it for you first before I go into an opinion. So let's put the definition, and then I'm gonna add an opinion behind it based on where I see things going. So Facebook groups is removing the API function inside of Facebook groups. And if you guys don't know what API means, it means application programming interface. So an application programming interface essentially gives users the right and the ability to connect applications outside of Facebook. Like said examples that I gave you guys earlier, CinchShare, StreamYard, there's tons of different programs out there. Comment below if you're a user of a third-party app, right? And so the tricky part about this is these third-party apps, for a lot of us, we run our businesses with these things, right? Comment below if you use one. And if you do, which one do you use? I know personally I use CinchShare to help me schedule out my posts for my Sunday segments. And for those of you that have been following me for X amount of time, maybe you're new, every Sunday we run trainings, and typically it's 10 informative training posts. Some of them have, freebies and other things attached to them. And then typically I go live afterwards. So now that they're removing this feature, which by the way, it goes into effect April 22nd of 2024. Okay. So we still have some time to kind of think through some things. But now we're not going to be able to use those things. So like right now I'm going live on StreamYard, right? I use StreamYard to do my lives. We're not going to have this ability anymore. So it is easy enough to say that it's a big change, right? Yeah. Post my party. We got CinchShare in the house, Vizzle. Yeah. Thank you so much for tagging. Just a friendly reminder, if you guys are getting value from this, or if you know somebody in direct sales that could use this conversation, please invite them into the group and tag them to the video. We're also live on the business page as well. So that way it's in two places. So what does this mean for you? If we're not able to use third-party apps for Facebook groups, what does this mean for you? Well, I do want to remind you guys, again, I attached the official article and you can actually it to the video. Okay. So you should be able to click on that link and actually go all the way to the bottom, because they're like some mumbo jumbo stuff that's probably important to you at the very top. But what really caught my attention was the deprecation and breaking changes. So when you go all the way down, it says deprecating Facebook groups API. That is basically the function that allows you to connect other applications to your Facebook, okay, so that you can run them inside of groups. Okay, that is what's going away. And so obviously, if you're running a direct sales business, for those of you that go live inside of Facebook groups, for those of you that use applications that you've had to connect to your groups, this of course is going to affect you. So what does this mean? Here's what I want to tell you. Okay, this is going to be the opinion portion. There's several articles, and I know there's a lot of Post My Party's already come out and said that they're basically going to go out of business. So if you're using Post My Party, they've publicly said that at this point. So does this mean, like, I'm saying this kind of in a scary way, right? Hello, everybody. Thanks for sharing. It doesn't need to be a super scary thing. And I know that's easier to say, right, than actually, doing. It can sound like a scary thing, but here's the deal, right? There was a time, and again, we're going into the opinion piece here. There was a time where these things didn't exist, guys. All we had was Facebook Live, right? All we had was our phones at one point. We didn't have schedulers. Here's the deal. For those of you that are scheduling content, and maybe that is like your biggest concern is your scheduling of the content. I know I have a massive following of people here that use CinchShare and Vizzle and all these other applications. Is it going to be inconvenient for you to not have the batch post feature on some of these things? Of course it is. Of course it's inconvenient. We're having to go a little bit backwards here, because now instead of being able to batch schedule your content, now it's going to be kind of the one by one thing, right? Copying your captions, uploading your graphics, and then just doing it one by one. Is it inconvenient? Absolutely. I don't see Facebook scheduler going away. However, this is the part where we need to pivot, right? This is the part where we need to see what the facts are, read the information accurately. I'm hearing a lot of things from different places. It's just inaccurate. Facebook is not going away. Somebody messaged me and saying, is Facebook being deleted? It's like, no. What's going to happen with Facebook groups as of right now? You guys, if you read that information on the article, it is extremely vague. It's very vague information. Does it look like there's something else that's going to be replacing it? In my personal opinion, here's the piece that I want to share with you guys that I think is going to be relevant to you. Okay. I don't think that they're going to come out with any type of replacement. Okay. I really personally don't think that. And here's why. I've spoken to the CEO of CinchShare. I've spoken to some other folks that have apps on here. And there's different opinions, but here's what we're seeing. Facebook can't monetize your Facebook groups, right? Meta can't monetize that. And I think this is a direction. And if you look at how the other platforms are performing, right? You have YouTube, which is a public space. They're using Shorts, which is public. You have TikTok that has their TikToks and their stories, right? That's all public. Instagram is public. Everything is public. I think Facebook is going to be putting more so of a focus on your feed, your stories, and your reels. That is just a personal opinion. And feel free to chime in below. If you guys have a question or if you have an opinion or if you want to share, your thoughts on this whole thing, how do you think this is going to affect you? If you're in direct sales or if you own a small business, feel free to share below. Okay. This is just my personal opinion. I do not think that they're going to come out with any kind of replacement as far as a scheduling software. Maybe they'll enhance the Facebook scheduler. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. All we know is we know when this is going to stop, when they're not going to allow APIs anymore, when they're going to remove it. At least we have an end date, which is April 22nd. Okay. If you haven't heard that yet, we have a very vague article. You guys know how Facebook is. Facebook is not very transparent. Sorry, Meta, but you're not. And they don't tend to share all the details of things. So this is all we have right now is this information. So what can we do from here, right? We can focus on what we can't do, or we can pivot and start focusing on solutions, which I think, right? Yeah, Facebook is encouraging Reels. Of course, they're encouraging Reels. Short form video is like the thing, right? And even longer form video on TikTok. So here's something that I also want to share with you guys, okay? We're going to be talking about ways to pivot. You know why? Because when you run a business online and when you're relying on social media to carry your business, let's just call a spade a spades. Things like this can happen because they're beyond our control, right? What can we focus on? All that we can do is control our controllables. So what does that mean? Well, if we can't utilize the scheduler for Facebook, then yes, there's Facebook scheduler. At least you're not completely out of a resource to use. Yes, is it going to take longer? Absolutely. Is it annoying? Yes. Does it feel like you're going into, somebody said, the stone ages of social media? Yes, it's going to feel like that a little bit because it's different, right? Exactly. But we need to get ourselves to a point where we just need to understand that this is a time where we need to pivot. We're not going to understand why Facebook is making their changes. All we can do is focus on how to actually pivot. So let's talk about some solutions here, okay? First of all, I'm going to be very real with you guys. If you guys are in direct sales and you guys have been following me for a while, I'm speaking to direct sellers specifically, because direct sellers specifically, we focus in on our Facebook groups like crazy, right? Who here posts in your Facebook group pretty consistently? Even if it's not every day, like your customers are in your Facebook groups, maybe your teammates are in your Facebook groups, you post your stuff in there, right? We have our whole communities. Obviously, you're inside of my Facebook group if you're watching this training. So yes, like we've built an entire ecosystem inside of Facebook groups because we could do that. And it's a great place, in my opinion, to build community. Right? And that's just the thing. I'm hoping Facebook enhances their scheduler. That would be great. Honestly, that would be a great solution. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to pivot away from Facebook groups. I think that is what they're trying to do. That is, again, I don't know, because the article that was shared was so vague, my friends, so vague. I don't know if that's actually going to be the thing. Maybe they will enhance it. Who knows? But I seriously doubt that they're going to come out with something to replace StreamYard, something to replace CinchShare or anything like that. But here's the other point that I wanted to make, okay? Us as direct sellers, we rely so much on our Facebook groups, okay? But here's the deal. The direction of social media marketing is absolutely 100% going to your personal feeds, stories, and reels, my friends. Okay. There's a ton of other resources that you can use. You can actually party using boards landing pages, which is something we're going to start incorporating in our Simply Sustainable Academy for our members. We're going to start releasing some trainings for that. Another solution is you can do messenger parties. If you're in direct sales, throw your messenger parties. Okay. Those can be extremely effective. And we've run those in our company as well as a network marketing. And those can be awesome, right? Another solution is you can still throw Zoom parties, just not inside of Facebook groups. So there are workarounds, there are solutions. So I don't want y'all to stay stuck on this. I know this is going to be a big shock for a lot of us. Right. Project Broadcast also has landing pages that you can use, right? But here's the deal. We can't sit here and we can't, you know, sit on this information and just do nothing at this point because things are changing and they're going to happen. So the best thing that you can do, right, as social sellers, as direct sellers, is start to make the pivot, right? So again, simple things that you could do. If you want to throw parties, do them in your messenger. If you want to do something a little different to where you're not necessarily posting a ton, use Project Broadcast, use boards landing pages. And once again, we're going to be doing some trainings on that. So if you guys need help, comment below in the comment section. If you'd like to see some trainings on these things, we're going to be broadcasting this stuff. We're going to be going along with the pivot because when things change, what does that mean for us? We have to change as well. We have to make these changes. And it's at least we got the courtesy, right? This is when we start looking at the positive part of this, right? Instead of panicking, we got to look at the positive. What do we have? We have an end date. We at least know there's a finish line. Does anybody remember or have been in direct sales long enough to remember when we had events? Remember Facebook events? And how a lot of people were using events and then it just vanished out of nowhere because Facebook decided they didn't want events anymore. I'm pretty sure there's a more in-depth reason. I'm sure somebody here will correct me on that. But regardless, we can't do anything about it. So what we can do is focus on our controllables. So as far as our end, here at Solutions for Sellers, we're going to be providing solutions and we're going to be doing trainings. We're going to show you how to put some things together, how to pivot, how to use Facebook Scheduler. If you don't know how to use Facebook Scheduler, maybe we need to go to the Stone Age for a little while. But in the midst of all of this, this is a great time for you guys to be learning things like Reels and posting on your feed and how to market through stories, okay? And if you're not doing these things, if you're not utilizing stories at this point, this is the biggest nudge, shove in the entire world for you to start pivoting the way that you market, right? And another thing on top of this, who here is building a list? Are you building your text list yet? Are you building your email list yet? This is why you need lists. And I've shouted this to the top of the rooftop in this group for years now. These things happen. They're unpredictable. And this is part of the challenges of running a business on social media. You have little to no control versus having a list that you have full control over, right? Having a resource where you can contact your customers without restrictions. So this is why it's so important to start pivoting, okay? So if you guys want to learn about marketing in your stories, maybe some of you guys are scared. Maybe you guys are feeling some kind of way about it. Obviously, it's a huge change in a short amount of time, but now you know. And now it's up to you to really move forward with the information. What we can do here is provide the trainings. We're still going to show up on Sundays. We're obviously going to have to pivot from the 10 posts. Maybe I'll use Facebook Scheduler to schedule the posts and we'll have to figure out what we're going to do live. We might be able to do like a YouTube live stream and we'll just hop on over to YouTube. Who cares, right? It is what it is. At least you'll get the training. You'll get in the information. We're still going to share resources, but we'll also contact you via email and text. You'll still get information. You're still going to get the trainings. It's up to you to do something with it, right? It's up to you to actually go through and make the pivot. If you want to get started with Reels, we've got great trainings for Reels. So all this to tell you, again, if you have direct sales buddies, up lines, down lines, all the way around lines, whatever kind of lines that could use this, make sure to tag them on this. Make sure to educate yourself first. Read the article, go all the way to the bottom. You're going to read all the information about APIs and what's happening. And this is just part of the game. Okay. Here's the benefit of CinchShare. I know we're not going to be able to schedule in groups, but they've actually been leading the way when it comes to just having available content that you could use on every single other part of your platform. This is why it's important to be able to start utilizing those things. And this is why we've been training on these things, right? I need training on marketing, on using stories. Gotcha. We've got stuff like that. We've done trainings like that, and we can definitely continue doing that. Yes, building my list. Will I be able to go live on the business page? You could still use the live feature, but you can't use StreamYard. And from my understanding, I have not used Facebook Live in a long time because I love StreamYard. From my understanding, Facebook Live and some of Facebook's features are just kind of wonky. They're not great resources. For those of you that actually use like the Facebook Live button and all of that, feel free if you have a different opinion. I was talking to another leader and she was saying how you can't interview people. It's really hard to get another person on Facebook Live. That's why StreamYard is a great resource. But again, these are the times where we pivot. But here's what you can expect from Solutions for Sellers, okay? Not great news, obviously, right? Hearing all this information, but here's what you can expect. We will provide trainings to help you learn how to market and revolutionize the way that you're marketing online. If you are stuck inside of Facebook groups and you're wondering why you're not gaining new customers and growing your business, it is because you're not visible. And this is Facebook's massive nudge to you to tell you it is now time to be visible. And your end date is April 22nd. Okay. This is a great time for you to start learning the information. I'm actually going to be reworking the rest of the Sunday segments leading up to April, May, June, July. I had the whole year of trainings planned out, but now I'm going to change it a little bit because now we know what's needed. And what's needed is beginner-like trainings to show you how to get started with Facebook. Beginner-like trainings to show you how to get started with Reels, show you how to get started with stories, how to start showing up on your news feed. And it's not spammy whammy Pam, right? Like spammy whammy Pam does not need to be, you don't need to be spammy whammy. There is a awesome way for you to be able to show up in a different way. It's going to be able to help you attract your customers, attract your joins, attract your leads without having to rely on Facebook groups. Okay. It just sounds like from what I am seeing that Facebook groups is not going to be a huge priority. That's just what I'm seeing. I could be wrong. Maybe something will change later. But for right now, this is what we know. Okay. So keep joining us on Sundays. The trainings may change a little bit as far as posts. We may have to get creative, right, on how we're going to be showing up. But again, we're going to be teaching you how to do all the things. Want to learn how to grow a text list, which I think is very strategic and very good idea at this very moment. This is a great time for you to get started with Project Broadcast and going through and start collecting leads from inside your Facebook groups. Create a freebie. We'll show you how to create a freebie and get people to opt in so that you're getting people opted into your text list from your Facebook group, right? You can still create a sense of community in your text and in your email lists, right? We do that with you guys in our email and in our text, right? You guys for those of you that are in our text list, you guys get a text or an email from us every single Sunday, right? And so there's ways that you can get around this, but we just have to be problem solvers, right? We just have to be problem solvers. So we're going to show you guys how to create freebies, how to build your text list, marketing on your feed, stories, on your actual feed, Reels. So we're going to be pivoting some of the trainings moving forward. That way you guys are at least getting introductory information to show you how to get started. Of course, Simply Sustainable Academy, that's my flagship membership. We are going to be doing more in-depth material in there. We're going to be releasing some workshops, again, where we were working our year plan here a little bit, because I think this is what's needed right now. People just need to learn these skills. People need to learn the skills of building a list. Lots of people have no clue how to build a list. And it doesn't need to be a science project. It doesn't need to be super complicated. It really doesn't. You just need to learn the very simple steps on getting started and then just learning how to build it, learning how to get people on your list. Because the worst thing that we can do is rely 100%, put all our eggs in one basket, right? We got to be able to pivot. We got to be able to have people off of social media. And you have to have a place. If you want to grow a growing business, you have to have a place where they're just not only in one space, right? I mean, you can't rely on social media for your entire business. You've got to be able to learn how to extract people from social media somewhere where they can always hear from you, somewhere where you can actually build community and relationships with people. Okay. All right. Any questions? Any questions at all? Any questions? Great that you're on top of it for us. Oh, awesome. Cool. I'm glad. Obviously, I'm actually a little late. There's like been people talking about it. And I'm like, I guess it took me a minute to really kind of understand like the actual changes here because I didn't know what an API was until I looked it up. Yeah, I'm not the techie person. I'm just not, be honest with you. But I learned it's an application program interface. And apparently without that, you can't connect nothing to Facebook. So Facebook groups, at least. So that's, obviously a very important tool if you're in direct sales or if you run a business inside of a group. So all we can do, and our goal with our entire team, we're going to have a meeting on Tuesday, actually, just be fully transparent with the team. And we're going to be talking about ways to pivot, trainings. We're going to be honing that down, reworking our year plan for you guys so that at least when you come here on Sundays, there's something for you to take in so that you can actually make that pivot and you can find a different way to market. Facebook groups is not the end all be all, guys. Okay. Your ability not to do StreamYard, yeah, that really sucks. That one hurt me in the heart a little bit. Not going to lie. That one just right there got me because I love StreamYard. I love being able to do this video, knowing that my video editor is just going to take it, edit it, and then use it for YouTube. And so I can repurpose content and then take little clips and use it for reels. But that's okay. We could just pivot, right? We can just pivot. It is what it is, right? Thank you. Thank you for always bringing the nudges. Oh, I know it. I know it. What if I have emails for lots, but not what? What if I have emails for lots, but not on a deal? I don't know what you said there, girl. I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't have to get specific on that one. What about Facebook business pages? Can CinchShare work with those? I believe so. I believe CinchShare can still connect to business pages. I believe that the issue is Facebook groups. That the APIs are Facebook groups are removing APIs, which means you cannot connect third-party apps to Facebook groups as of April 22nd. So at least you have time, right? And if you can still go live on business pages, then go live on your business page, right? And again, the live button still works on Facebook inside of groups. However, it's just wonky. Like, who said that? Jody? I think Jody was the one that said it's wonky. I haven't used it in a long time because I had StreamYard. So again, we're just going to have to get creative. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I have lots of emails, but have not put them in Project Broadcast. Is there a way? I mean, for Project Broadcast, you would need their phone numbers. So if they provided phone numbers as well, then you can download, I think it's a CSV. I think it's called a CSV file if you've collected phone numbers along with emails, and you could just transfer them that way. But if you haven't collected phone numbers, then you're going to have to go through and collect. Let's see. It's good. Okay. Any other questions? Facebook Live itself stinks. Oh, I know it. Trust and believe. That is so true. No, yeah, you can't use Zoom on a live. However, you can still do Zoom parties. You just can't connect it to a Facebook group, right? Here's a great transition, I think, that could be helpful. And I was thinking about doing a training. Obviously, I could use your brains here if this is helpful, right? So what we could do too is we could get boards, create a landing page type of party on boards, and then have a link to a Zoom. And then people could just connect to the Zoom. So they don't have to really rely on anything when it comes to Facebook groups. Does that make sense? So people can actually do their shopping on your board's landing page and then have a Zoom link if you're going to go live on a Zoom and show your products. And honestly, here's the deal. Like if you're doing these kind of things where you're getting people into Zooms and you're doing presentations and you're sharing products and you're connecting with your customers on Zoom, I think that's a better connection that you can build with people versus having a bunch of party posts inside of a Facebook group, right? Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, engagement, I think overall inside of Facebook groups is anyway. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I know I have. A lot of other people that own businesses have noticed the change with that as well. But, that could be an alternative. And again, once we put all the puzzle pieces together here on our end, we'll be ready to provide you guys some training for that. That's the plan. Is the landing page free for them to see on CinchShare? I don't know if CinchShare has a landing page. I was talking about boards. Boards has landing pages. I know Project Broadcast has landing pages. I don't remember if Project Broadcast charges for landing pages, using landing pages. I can't remember. Can you post a link in a post or comment and then click the link for them to see the video? You can. I believe you can. Like you can still post inside of Facebook groups. You just can't, you're not going to be able to use SendShare and Vizzle and those things to schedule things out. But yeah, like you can still make posts inside of Facebook groups. You can. So that, yes, you can do that. So if you have like a pre-recorded video, I just don't think pre-recorded videos, especially for parties or just any kind of business that you're running, pre-recorded videos are just not, you want people to engage, right? You want to have a space where people can connect with you, engage with you. And sometimes when we become too automated and we're pre-recording our content, I think people have a hard time connecting with you, So I think getting people on a Zoom could be a really good alternative. So, all right. Any other questions here? Notifications are horrible and engagement is low. Yeah, that's been a thing. It really has been. And I really think Facebook's doing a thing. This is my opinion. Just my opinion. I think Facebook's doing a thing right now where they're trying to get maybe further away from Facebook groups or private Facebook groups specifically, because Facebook can't use that for advertising. They can't advertise in your groups. They can't monetize off of your groups. They want you in a public space. And if you notice every other platform that's doing reels and stories, those are all monetizable things and all these other platforms. So I think that is why Facebook is making this push over to every other thing other than Facebook groups. And so that's, again, personal opinion. I could be completely off. I'm just seeing what the other platforms are doing. And, Facebook is not necessarily like the number one platform. It's still YouTube, which was surprising to me. It's YouTube. I think then it's, okay, I might have it wrong, but I know YouTube's number one. I think it's TikTok, and then it's Instagram, and then it's Facebook. So, there's some competition out there. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to hop on. I know I said I was going to go live tonight, but it's Saturday, and tonight we've got plans. So I wanted to at least let you guys know the information. Again, there's a link to the video and the link, not the video, but the information with Facebook groups and the API situation. And you can read that on Facebook's article. CinchShare actually released a really good article as well. If you find the post that I made this morning, I linked CinchShare's link as well. And they basically spelled it out as well that, we need to stop focusing so much on Facebook groups and start being more public with our content. Because you need to be visible. If you want new customers, if you want to attract new leads and have conversations that lead to conversions, you need to be more public. So again, we're going to be providing all of the training for you guys on Sundays. So of course, if you have any other questions, comment below. And I appreciate you guys for hopping on, and I'll see you guys next time. Or actually tomorrow night. We've got a training tomorrow night, so come join us. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.